Welcome and thanks for joining me right here on the channel. The solution is you. I really do appreciate each of you for stopping by the channel. If you enjoyed the content, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. With that, let me go ahead and get into today's content. Now, the topic of today, 4 heart-stopping signs that you chose the wrong woman. Now, I was really contemplating if I wanted to put this one out. Every subject is not as easy as the last, but I decided to go ahead and move forward with this because I'm an advocate for men, and I know that there are a lot of guys out here who are in situations with women, and these guys want to believe that they are in control of their particular relationship, or they really understand and know the woman that they are with. Now, let me say there are plenty of women out there who are in relationships or who are dating that are treating guys right. They're doing everything that they have to gain their man's trust. But there are a portion of women, there are too many that are playing a lot of games and that will string you along if you are not alert and you are not constantly watching and paying attention to the different signs that are being presented to you. So today I've put together just 4 signs that you need to be aware of, or you may be aware of, and you just need just a refresher. And I just want to make sure that I am looking out for the guys that are in these types of situations that they may be blinded by looks. It could be sex. It could be a woman maybe that is providing you with materialistic items. There are a lot of different situations out here, married individuals, individuals that are involved in different situations where there are couples and all this, so many different scenarios going on that can kind of confuse certain guys. Maybe you are a young guy, maybe you're coming out of college, or maybe you jumped right into a relationship and you thought that this woman that you're with is going to be promising. Maybe she was in college herself, but there were some things that you really didn't know about her, or maybe you just jumped head in first and you decided that you would figure everything out later. There are a lot of guys who do this. They jump into a relationship and just figure things out later, you know. So let me go ahead and get into 4 quick scenarios that can help the men out here who need it. Again, 4 heart-stopping signs that you chose the wrong woman. So let me go ahead and start with number 4. So, lustful lunch hour. So, this is a situation where you are at a job and there are many of us guys who you meet who you believe to be that special someone at the job. And let's say you're working in the evening time. So, this is a lovely woman that you believe it could be the one for you. But the thing about this woman is that every guy is looking at this same woman. And so this is one that maybe at one of those nice office jobs where she comes to work and she has on a nice skirt and the legs are right. They're nice and toned and she's thick and she was wearing the heels and she has the toenails painted and she always smells good. She has on the lip gloss so the lips are shining and the body is right, the waist is nice and slim, and the hips are out. So this is one that all the guys are trying to get up on. You know one of these at your job that this is the one that gets the attention from every guy. So usually at these corporate jobs, maybe at some job where you're answering phones or something like that, and there's a plethora of women that is working at this particular company. Usually at these types of jobs, there's one guy that is willing to do whatever with any woman that comes into the building. So he's known for basically putting his mouth on everything. So word has got around that this guy is basically always trying to sample each woman that comes into the department. So this is the woman that you decide that you're gonna go and you're gonna make her yours. So you work in the evening shift. You know, she's very nice. She's wearing her skirt, and you two have been talking now for a number of days, and everything seems to be jumping off right. She's always stopping by your desk and to see how you're doing, and when she walks away, you know, she's turning around and smiling at you. You've probably been in this situation before where you're getting all the attention, and the coworkers around you are kind of, you know, bigging you up because this woman seems to be giving you the attention, but no one else. So you get the number and you've been talking to her on the phone, you know, at nighttime after work, and you continue to come in and work and do your thing, and you see her or whatever. But the thing is, you two, you really haven't, you know, done anything outside of work because you're working two jobs, and you have a morning job, then you have to come into your evening job, and then, you know, outside of work, you know, at nighttime or whatever, you're talking to her, but she got some things going on, so you're never quite able to link up. And after a while, you know, she stopped calling you. You ever been in this situation with a woman that you've just met where things seem to be popping off and things seem to be going down the right road, and you might even say that you two are dating, but you haven't really done anything outside of the work? You're just trying to claim her so no one else will. And she's been cool though, so she agrees that you two are talking. And keep in mind that you are working two jobs, so you don't have that much time for her other than when you are at the job. So that this one day you're talking to her on the phone after work, and she's questioning you about not being able to see you because you so tied up with your jobs, and she wants to come and spend some time with you, but you're telling her you are working and you have to work to save up money because there are some things that you got to handle. So in order for you to make up for not being able to chill with her, you are going out of your way to buy her items and gifts and things that you're bringing up to the job. So you bring the gifts, it's like a couple of balloons and some candy up to the job, and you give to her, and she appears to be happy or whatever, but you can tell that a little bit of her is not totally satisfied because now it's been like a few weeks or so and she hasn't been able to spend time with you. But you are very excited because you've been able to spend whatever time you can with her and no one else has. So you go ahead and you give her a hug, and she thanks you for the gifts, and she uses just the extra time that she has to tell you about the guy who is always trying to holler at every woman at the job, who is always making sexual references. And she tells you that every time she passes by that he's licking his tongue out at her. So you downplay it and you tell her that just ignore him because, you know, you two are together, so it shouldn't be no big deal, and you don't have to confront him or anything like that. And so you going about your business. So that night you try to call her and there's no answer. She doesn't pick up the phone. And so the next day you come to work She doesn't stop by to see you like she normally would. And so this is a two-story building. So this is a building where it's set up, you're on the second floor and your desk is right near the window, so you can look down and you can see whatever's going on in the parking lot. So normally you two would take your lunch break at the same time and just hang out for the hour that you guys have on your lunch break. But she hasn't been answering the phone and she hasn't been stopping by your desk. So you happen to see her, but she acts like she doesn't see you and she goes into the women's room. So now you're anticipating her coming out the women's room and going to her desk. So once she comes out, she walks down the aisle past you and completely ignores you. So you send her a quick text and tell her that on lunch you need to holler at her. So now lunch comes and you are tied up on a call for an additional 5 minutes into your lunch. And so while you're on this call, you're 5 minutes past your lunchtime and you happen to look out the window because you have direct access to the parking lot and you happen to see her get in the ride of the guy who is always harassing all the women. And this is the same guy that she was claiming was flicking his tongue out at her. So, men, have you ever been in this situation where you have a woman that has been complaining about a guy who is supposed to be so vulgar and doing all of these things to women, and the word has got out on this particular guy that he is just out here putting his mouth on everything, and your woman is acting like she's complaining about it, but ends up with this guy somehow. Maybe they're going out for lunch or he's supposed to take her shopping or something like that, and now you're wondering what else is going on behind the scenes. Sometimes you will have a woman that is desperately eager to buy into what one of these types of guys are selling. Number three, midnight membership. So sometimes, guys, you can have a woman that you believe is the woman of your dreams or the woman that you really care about, and you think you know everything about her. And you could be a guy who is working the night shift. That means you're working graveyards or you're gone throughout the night and you are working hard and you're calling back, checking on your woman. Sometimes you don't have to call her because you believe that she is doing her thing and that she is safely tucked into bed. But you may be a guy who likes to go through your woman's things. So, for example, sometimes you go through her phone just to maybe you're looking for something. Maybe you're trying to see if she's doing something she's not supposed to. Or maybe you just enjoy going through your woman's things to maybe something that you believe that you two share. So this particular day, you're at home and maybe your woman is in a different part of the house just doing something and you are going through her laptop and you're looking at the emails and you're looking at an email that where she has subscribed to a particular adult site and she's subscribed as a new member, and because it's a laptop and she has it set up to where the majority of the platforms has her already signed in, so it's this one adult site that she has become a new member, and you've determined that she has been working this site while you've been gone to work. So she's putting on performances and uploading the content to this particular site and getting all types of views and subscribers and things. And so this has been going on for a long time and you were unaware and didn't have any idea of what was happening. Now, any of you men been in this situation or currently in this situation where you have a woman that was doing something like this behind your back? She's putting on these adult performances and showing it to everybody, and you didn't know about this. Maybe your sex situation hasn't been the same since, and maybe you haven't or been getting the type of loving for the last few weeks or even months, and she's been putting on these shows behind your back. Any of you been in this situation? So you definitely want to pay attention to in behaviors and changes in attitude and things like this, before things start to escalate further. Your woman could be doing home visits, or she could have maybe some other guy coming over while you're going to work, and they could be doing performances together. You never know what the motive is for why a woman would do something like this. Maybe she believes that she has it better somewhere else, and so she's just going to go out with a blaze of glory and just do whatever she wants as she pleases, and it's just going to be in your face. So you have to pay attention to these types of things and make sure you nip it in the bud as soon as you can. Now, number two, dabbling under duress. So just like there are a lot of loving relationships that are destined to become great, there are a lot of relationships that are built on dysfunction. And with these dysfunctional relationships, there's domestic violence. And in these types of relationships, there are words being exchanged that one or the other will regret. There are sometimes hands flying everywhere, furniture moving. But in relationships, one of the biggest signs that you have to pay attention to are marks that you did not place on your woman. So this could be a situation where you and your woman are on bad terms. This means that you're not speaking to one another. Maybe this could be due to spat over some money. This could be due to a disagreement over you were talking to some other woman and there was a bigger misunderstanding about what was said. Whatever the situation is, there's a disagreement between you and your woman and y'all are on bad terms. Now, this could also be a situation where everything is fine in your relationship and you just, have a woman that she believes that she can do what she wants whenever she wants. But if you are come across a scenario where you're with your woman and you just happen to look at her arms and you find that her wrists have bruises on them and her upper arms have hand marks and finger marks on each arm and on each wrist, this could be a clear sign that your woman has been operating under duress. Just let that sink in. And number one of the 4 heart-stopping signs that you chose the wrong woman: when silence is not golden. Now, we all know that when you don't have anything good to say, then the best route to take is to say nothing at all. But when you are in, or believe that you are in, a loving relationship with your woman, and maybe you and your woman are not living together, so she has her own place, you have your own place. But if you ever find yourself as a man in a situation where you make a phone call to your woman and you are doing all the talking and you have asked a series of questions, maybe you're trying to figure out how her day went or you're trying to figure out what she's into. You could be telling her about your day and some things that you experienced, and there's just continuous silence, or there's broken sentences when she's responding. Maybe you can hear some sounds in the background. There could be some squeaking sounds, or it could be some sounds like she's underwater. especially if she's out of breath, like she just got off the treadmill, but she has given no indication that she is at the gym. So don't be fooled and do not let this type of behavior go unchecked. I thank you for listening to me today. Please understand that the solution is you. With that, have a great day.